Ever look in the mirror and thought, wait a minute, why does one glute look different than the other? This is actually very common. In this video, we dive into why one glute might be bigger, stronger, more lifted, and activated than the other. And I'll show you how to fix it, step by step. This is Dr. CeCe. Let's dive in. Glute asymmetry is very common, and there is usually a few simple reasons for it, like dominant leg syndrome, where you're always standing on the same leg, kicking with the same leg, or shifting to one side, the same side, when you walk or stand. There's pelvic rotation or tilt, a small structural or functional shift in your pelvis can make one glute do way more work than the other. You also have old injuries, sprained ankles, knee pain, low back pain. The body compensates for this by altering your gait to protect the injured part. When your gait is altered, the muscles that move your legs act differently. We also have gym habits, not using the proper form when you're doing squats and lunges. They're done unevenly, and that equals one cheek becoming the overachiever. And of course, lifestyle and everyday habits, especially if you have bad posture or like to lean to one side. This can all lead to glute imbalance. There are three muscles that make up your glutes: the gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus. Gluteus maximus is the powerhouse. It's the biggest glute muscle. It gives your butt its shape, and it helps you to stand, walk uphill, run, and jump. The gluteus medius is the stabilizer. It's located on the side of your hip, and it keeps your pelvis level when you walk. Its main job is hip abduction, moving your leg out to the side. It is super important for balance and for preventing hip and knee issues. The gluteus minimus is the assistant. It's the smallest and deepest of the three glute muscles, and it works with the glute medius to help stabilize your pelvis. It also helps to move your leg out to the side and to rotate it slightly. When one of the three gets weak or tight, it can throw off the whole system, leading to pain, imbalance, or one glute working harder than the other. This matters because together, these three muscles help you to walk and run smoothly, to stand balanced. They protect your low back and knees. They help you take powerful steps, squats, and jumps. They help to keep your pelvis aligned. And, of course, they make your butt look amazing. So, what does it mean when one glute is dominant and the other one is inhibited? It's the balance of power, or rather, the unequal balance of power. Glute dominance means this glute does all the work. One glute is doing more than its fair share, usually because it's stronger, more active, or better connected to your brain. You'll notice that one glute looks bigger or rounder. One side is stronger during squats, lunges, or walking. And you naturally shift weight into that one hip. And of course, that dominant side feels more alive and easier for you to activate. Glute inhibition means this glute is basically on vacation. The glute isn't activating well. even if it's not weak. The brain just isn't sending a strong signal to it, and we'll talk about why later. You'll notice one glute looks smaller or more flat. It's hard to feel it working. Hamstrings or low back take over, and that side feels uncoordinated or lazy. Why does this happen? The short answer is usually everyday bad habits, like prolonged sitting, especially in the wrong position, bad postural habits, tight hip flexors, pelvic tilt or rotation, past injuries. Your brain just trusts one side more, usually because of an old injury, or nerve tension, especially the sciatic or superior gluteal nerve. Now, if you want to learn more about your leg nerves, jump down that rabbit hole, then check out my Spinal Nerves Made Super Simple series, located in the playlist. It's full of information about your spinal nerves. Anyway, the simple difference between dominant and inhibited muscles is that dominance equals one glute is overworking, and inhibition equals the other glute isn't turning on well. They usually happen together, creating the classic one glute bigger than the other problem. Now, before we go any further, we have to address proper pelvic alignment. Your pelvis is like the base of your spine and the foundation of your body. When it's level and balanced, everything above it, your spine, and everything below it, your hips and legs, work more smoothly. Pelvic alignment means your pelvis is sitting in a neutral, balanced position, not tilted too far forward, not tilted too far backward, or twisted to one side. The four common pelvic positions are neutral pelvis, what we want, where the hips are level, the spine is supported, your core and glutes work properly, and movement feels smooth. Then there's anterior pelvic tilt, where the pelvis is tilted forward. This is what we do not want. Here, the butt sticks out more. The low back arches. Hip flexors get tight, and your glutes and core get weaker. Next, the posterior pelvic tilt. Also what we don't want. This is where the pelvis is tilted back. Here, the tailbone tucks under. The low back flattens. Hamstrings stay tight, and your glute can get underactive. The last one is pelvic rotation, which is a combination of anterior tilt and posterior tilt, where one side is tilted forward and one side tilts backward. Here, one hip looks higher or more forward, and that can make one glute look bigger than the other. This completely changes the way you walk and stand. So, does pelvic alignment matter? You bet it does. Because when the pelvis is off, the whole body has to compensate. The glutes are essential for pelvic alignment and hip extension. A misaligned pelvis can lead to hip pain, low back pain, uneven glutes, tight hamstrings, knee or foot issues, and muscle imbalances. Don't underestimate those old injuries. Old injuries create a protective response in the body that inhibits muscle function and alters your movement patterns. Inadequate or non-existent rehabilitation from a previous injury can lead to the glutes not being properly re-engaged, causing the other muscles to overcompensate and leading to long-term imbalances. This is called protective inhibition, where your body is just very protective of you. Remember that. Its first priority is always survival, and that could sometimes mean protecting you from yourself. When you are injured, your body's protective mechanism may inhibit the muscles around the injured area, including the glutes, to prevent further damage. If the glutes aren't reactivated after healing, they can remain weak. An injury can force you to change how you move to avoid pain. This new asymmetrical movement pattern can lead to some glute muscles becoming underactive while others become overactive, which can lead to chronic imbalance. The brain has to learn to trust that body part again, enough to put its full support behind it and its full weight on it. Just like any good relationship, trust is important for your mind-body connection. Now that we know everything involved in glute imbalance, let's fix it in 5 simple steps. Step 1. The first step is to determine which glute is slacking. We're going to find the sleepy glute by testing it with a single leg bridge on each side. To perform a single leg bridge, first lay on your back with your knees bent and flat feet on the floor. Extend one leg straight up. Place your hands under your butt to support your lower back if needed. Now engage your abdominal muscles and lift your leg as high as you can without arching your back. Slowly lower that leg back to the starting position. You do about 15 reps of this, up and down, one leg at a time, slow and controlled movements. The weaker side will shake, burn faster, feel off, or you just can't lift it as high. Step 2. Now that you've found the weaker side, let's wake it up with some glute activation. To activate a muscle means to get your brain to turn it on and fire it properly during movement. Put your brain in your butt cheek. Seriously, mind-muscle connection turns that glute back online. It's not about lifting heavy. It's about getting the muscle to wake up and do its job. Think of activation as pressing the on switch before you even start your exercises. First, we're going to wake up that sleepy glute with a mind-muscle cue. Put your hand on the weak glute and gently tap it. Then, practice squeezing that side slowly. This helps the brain reconnect to the muscle. Next, we'll do a simple isolation exercise. Pick an easy movement so the weak glute can learn to fire on its own. I like clamshells for this because it primarily targets and strengthens the gluteus medius, the stabilizer. You're going to do about 15 reps of this, concentrating, going slow and focused. Feel the weak glute working. That is activation. Step 3 is to fix your daily habits. Most people lose glute activation because they just don't use them. The modern lifestyle has us mostly sitting all day and laying down all night. Focus on correcting the bad habits that contributed to this imbalance. If you're always standing on one hip, now you'll need to be conscious of evenly distributing your weight to both hips when standing. If you like to sit cross-legged the same way every time, try switching things up by switching legs. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but your body will soon adapt. Constantly leaning to one side is a bad habit that many of us have. Be vigilant and consciously put yourself upright, whether you're walking, standing, or sitting. Also try pushing through your heels when you stand, and squeezing both glutes lightly when you walk. Small habits lead to very big changes. Your glutes actually don't grow in the gym. They grow from what you do or don't do all day. Next, we're going to correct any pelvic imbalances. As a chiropractor, I see this all the time. A rotated pelvis can make one side work overtime. Regular adjustments plus mobility work can get things firing evenly again. So find a good chiropractor that can help you to properly evaluate and help fix any pelvic dysfunctions. It's typically just a quick pelvic adjustment that you may need to have repeated until your daily habits can support your new postural change. Keep in mind that your body is going to want to shift back into old, comfortable behavior posture. It may take a few adjustments coupled with new, healthy postural habits for your body to understand and hold its new normal. Here are a few suggestions for mobility work. Hip flexor stretches, 90-90 hip mobility, glute medius activation, and lumbar mobility stretches. If you don't know how, you can look all of these up on YouTube. There are plenty of videos, great exercise and stretching videos to choose from. Last but certainly not least, the final step is to train unilaterally. Now we build strong, symmetrical glutes. You'll need to do about 2 to 3 rounds of 15 reps a day of each of these exercises on the weaker side only. Clamshells, single leg bridges, donkey kicks, and if you're up for it, side lying hip abductions. Add resistance only after activation. Once you can feel that glute firing on its own, add bands, weights, and bigger movements like hip thrusts, lunges, and squats, whatever you want. This builds strength without one side taking over. When exercising, always begin with the weak side. Your reps must match the weak side, not the strong side. Here are some more great butt-enhancing exercises. Split squats, single leg RDLs, step-ups, hip thrusts, pausing on the weak side, and another one of my favorites, fire hydrants. So if one glute is bigger than the other, now you know it's not genetics or the universe picking favorites. You can fix this with good habits, unilateral training, and activation work. If you want more body balancing tips, hit the like button to let me know that you like this content. And subscribe to the channel for more chiro-approved guides to posture, mobility, and pain-free movement. Videos drop weekly. This is Dr. CeCe. See you next video.